Hey guys, it's Chris Grant again. Welcome back to the reverse product search. This is probably one of my favorite features inside of Tactical Arbitrage, and we are going to dig in deep. So, you're going to see my page here in the top left. We've got all the information that we need to put in to do a reverse product search. On the right hand side, we see our view data and download buttons. I have my storefront stalker keys installed, so I've got these features as well. And then we've got our filter products down here. So a very similar layout to everything else, and we're going to go into every single feature here. So this will automatically do UPC sites, but if you also want to show title matches, you can turn this button on. Okay, you will get more mismatches. It happens. There is an algorithm coming out to match images, which is going to be really great as soon as it's ready to go. But for now, this is the way it is, and that image algorithm should be out shortly. You can import bulk product codes, and what that means is you can grab lists of ASINs, whether you buy this from people. I know that I have sold a million lists of ASINs, and other people have sold lists of ASINs. If you go grab these with Storefront Stalker Pro, or if you go copy and paste them into a CSV file manually, you can upload them here. Excuse me. Now, to upload a new file, you can download a template here. It needs to have a UPC column, an ASIN column, and then it needs to have at least one of these filled in. So you can have just ASINs, you could have just UPCs. If you have any further columns out to the right, they're going to be extraneous. They're not going to be picked up. Now, the other thing that's important is you can do a bulk list of up to 25,000 rows of ASINs or UPCs. Anything over 25,000 and you're out of luck. So we'll come back to this in a moment, and we will upload a file to have a look at it. Sorry, once you upload a file, you just click upload, and I'll show you how to do that here in a moment. Now, you may also quick search. You can do a single ASIN. You can go up to 100 ASINs. These have to be separated by a comma. So if you have a list of ASINs, you could grab them, throw them in there. If you have one ASIN, there's one. Oops. That's a fake ASIN, of course, and then you can put in another one as well, and another one over here. So what it would do is it would go out and it would search for 3 ASINs. Okay? Do that with 5, do it with 20, do it with 50, do it with 100, whatever you choose. Now, one of the really cool new features, this is just less than a couple weeks old, I think, is the quick keyword search. Now, this is full of badassery, in my opinion. It is October the 3rd as I'm recording this video. So, we are in the midst of pumpkin spice season. So what we could do right now is we could go in here and type in pumpkin spice, and then let's say that I only want to look at pumpkin spice in grocery and gourmet food. Well, now, if we hit submit, it will go out and search for the keyword pumpkin spice and then do a reverse search on those ASINs for you automatically. So any keyword that you think of, no matter what, you could do it right here. Now, in another video, and I'll probably make this after this training is released and add it in as a bonus, you could kind of do some PL searching with this. You know, come up with a keyword. Maybe you want to sell self-defense items. You know, look up self-defense, and then go in the sports and outdoors, go grab all the information, and then you're going to be able to get average sales velocity, how many reviews there are, what the average rating is, and then you could extrapolate that information into a niche that might be interesting for you. So, but that's going to be a bonus video. It's going to be something I'll record once this is all done. Probably throw it in after we've got a few people in this course. But if you have questions about it, reach out to me. We'll chat. All right, so there's the quick keyword search. Now, you have the ability to save filters. You can see I have a wholesale reverse search, a wholesale leads. I have a toys filter, and then I have a bestsellers reverse search filter. I'm actually going to be using that one today, but of course we will go over all the filters as well before we dig into any of the actual searching. Now, over to the right, this is one of the best features in my opinion. You can scan the bestsellers. So, you have to have Storefront Stalker Pro to grab this. There should be a button below. If you do not have it, click on that button, grab yourself a copy, and we can install those for you in the Tactical Arbitrage Support Desk by you just shooting in an email or following the directions that you get from Nate McAllister. Now, what you can do here is this is going to allow you to reverse search the best sellers to see if you can find them in other places. Now, bestsellers, everyone goes to the bestsellers page, they think, oh, well, it's the top 100. Or maybe they go to Keepa and they see the top 500. Or maybe they go see the top 10,000 from Amazon that has released a list. Well, Alex, in his magical wonderfulness, has been able to go 100,000 deep into the bestsellers with the help of Storefront Stalker Pro. So what you can do is you could go into grocery and gourmet food, and if you leave it at that top level category, you can do a reverse search for the top 100,000 ASINs in grocery and gourmet food. But wait, there's more. If you go down here, you're going to get all the level 2 bestsellers. In the level 2, you could break it down into breakfast foods. And in the breakfast foods, you're going to be able to get the top 3,000 there. And again, you can go even deeper. We can go to cereals. You should be able to get the top 3,000 from just cereals. So it really expands your sourcing abilities inside of all these bestsellers. Because what you've got to remember is that the top 3,000 in cereals, let's say that the top 2,500 best-selling cereal, it may not actually be in the top 100,000 grocery and gourmet food. It might be 102,000. But that doesn't mean it's a bad seller. Or maybe it only has a merchant-fulfilled seller on it. So we got to think outside the box and really source kind of maybe outside our comfort zone a little bit and go where other people aren't so that we can make money that other people won't. So that is how that Storefront Stalker feature works. It's an absolute killer feature. You could run these over and over and over again and run them all kinds of different ways. I mean, it goes down to level 4. You could just go after oatmeal and just sell the best-selling oatmeal if you want. So that's a fantastic feature as well. And after I show you how to do an import bulk product code, which is really the only thing here that needs more explanation, we can do one of these just for kicks and giggles. So let's dig into the filters. The filters are going to be a lot like product search. However, you're going to notice a major one missing here. You're going to see that there are no store prices being discounted. You don't have that 1, 2, and 3 box for store prices. The reason this is that reverse product search in its very nature searches multiple sites at once. So if you put in a 10% discount, let's say you have a 10% coupon at Target. If you have a 10% coupon at Target for groceries, that's not going to work at Walmart. It's not going to work at H-E-B or any of these other sites. So what you need to do is you need to go to your settings and you need to put in the discount codes in the the discounts in the settings. And we're going to get to that when we get down to the settings filter. So you can skip ahead if you need to. You can ask in the Facebook group. You can send me an email if you can't find it. But you're going to want to make sure that if you are sourcing discounts, which I highly suggest you do, put those into your settings and make sure they're updated regularly. So in the filter here, the only thing you're going to see is the state sales tax. Now, I fill mine in because not all sites will accept my tax exempt card. You know, Walmart is, Kohl's is not, Target is not, and then I've never really tried for places like Jet or ThinkGeek or any of those other places that want to give you a hard time. So I just fill this in. Now, we get to our remove. The remove is pretty much exactly like the product search. You can remove the current average 30-day, average 90-day ranks right here. This will be grayed out. You won't be able to put anything in there if you have the ranks filled out in your settings. But with this, I usually don't. Let's just go 250,000 just for... Okay. Now, if you want to remove products, if the number of sellers is more than X, you can do that here. Perhaps you don't want to sell against 20 or 30 or 50 other sellers. If you'd like to remove third-party sellers from your results, say you don't want to buy from a third-party seller on Walmart, which is the only site this will work for right now, you can click this button and you won't see any third-party sellers. If you don't want to sell oversized products, you can click this filter here. I don't suggest it, but if you absolutely don't want to, you can use it. Remove out-of-stock products. This works at a bunch of sites. It does not work at every site. Now, this is also something that is a bit crowdsourced. So if you happen upon a product, if you're using this filter, you don't want to see any out-of-stock products at the source site, and you happen upon a product that is out of stock and it shows up anyway, you need to shoot that in to the Tactical Arbitrage support team and they will get it fixed. Okay? Now, I do not suggest that you use this filter. The reason being, something might be out of stock. And I'm going to use Walmart and Target a lot as examples, but let's say something is out of stock at Target, at Walmart. It may not always be out of stock. And if it's an absolute killer product, maybe the ROI is 100, 150%, and it sells at that price regularly, and all the metrics look good, but you just can't buy it, well, that's something that would be perfect to add to your out-of-stock list so that Tactical Arbitrage can auto-update it for you. And if it comes back in stock, you're going to get an email. You're going to get a text message, and then you'll be able to pounce on that product and send it into Amazon. This next filter is remove if Amazon contains no weight or size data. Sometimes that happens. You might find a product where there's only been a drop shipper, there's only been a merchant fulfilled seller, and they might not have put the weight or size data in there. Amazon's going to be cracking down on that, but it's still going to happen. You can turn that filter on if you want to, if you don't want to see those items. I don't. Tactical Arbitrage will use a 12 by 12 by 12 box, use a 1 pound weight, and it's going to take as good of a guess as it can. It may be a little off because maybe it's a 5 pound product and it's using a 1 pound weight. However, I want to see those products because I know a lot of other people are not, and it might give me the opportunity to find a diamond in the rough, even if I have to do a little bit of dusting of that diamond. Next is remove if Amazon is also a seller and now in stock. If you are absolutely adamant about not selling against Amazon, you can click on this filter and you will not see products where Amazon is a seller and Amazon is currently in stock. Now, I sell on Amazon. I sell with Amazon. I don't mind if they're on the listing as well. But that is completely up to you. So I will not use that filter. If you want to remove If the number of reviews is less than X, you can. Some people really don't want to sell anything with less than 3 reviews. Some people don't want to sell anything with less than 4 reviews. I don't pay too much attention, but I understand the idea. The more reviews there are, it's very possible that it has some history to it. It's also very possible that if it's if it has more than 10 or 20 reviews, it's probably selling well. It's probably not getting a lot of returns. But you can also filter by the rating. And let's say that you don't want to sell anything less than 3.2 stars. Yes, you can use a decimal point, but this will remove anything that has a rating lower than X. I know some people who don't want to sell things with less than 3 stars just because they want to make sure that they have a lower chance of getting returns. Again, something I really don't pay too much attention to. I will take a quick look at the reviews before I buy a product to make sure that, not 90% of the people are returning it, or I might get a counterfeit claim for whatever reason. So, remove products with an Amazon price of less than X. Now, you've got 2 divided camps in the FBA community. You've got the folks who say, I will never sell anything under $10. Then you've got these other guys over here who are like, you guys are missing out on a bunch of profit. There's, you can make $1 or $2 all day long by throwing a bunch of candy corn in a box and sending it into Amazon. They're both right. Some people don't want to sell the low dollar profit items, and I understand that. If that's you and you only want to sell items that are $15 or $20 minimum, you can do that here, and it will remove any items with an Amazon price of less than X. Next, remove products if the Amazon title contains the words. A lot of people use this if they want to remove anything that has the word bundle or pack or count. Those kind of items that you may not want to see, you can remove those words here. So it would look like this: pack, bundle. Oops, can't spell today. Count. Still can't spell. Count. That would be how you remove all of those words. Next, remove product if the Amazon buy box is not at least X times the store price. Now, if anybody has been around for a while, or heck, even if you've been around for a very short period of time, you should know who Chris Green is. I like to call him the OG of online arbitrage. He, in his book, I think it was his book, Retail Arbitrage or Arbitrage, he discussed the thirds rule. 1/3 of the cost of the product for the buy price, your cost of goods sold, 1/3 in Amazon fees, and 1/3 for profit. Some people really still like to go by this rule. Some people really want to see that a price on Amazon is at least 1.7 times higher than the source site, or 2.2 times higher. This filter is not used a lot, but it is available for you. I don't use it at all. I'm happy with 30 to 50% profit margins and higher, of course. But it is there if you want it. Now the next filter is the seasonal buy box prices and calculations. Use the average price date range. This will allow you to sort of look at historical prices to forecast future prices. For example, if you wanted to look at last October, right near Halloween, you could see what candy prices are going for then, so that you might be able to forecast what they're going to go for in the future. And maybe you want to go a little bit deeper on the Halloween candy, because you know that the 4 days up to Halloween, people are going to be paying $30 to $40 to $50 a bag for Halloween candy, and you're willing to hold on to it. This can also allow you to see the average price over, let's say, the last 30 days. You could do 60 days, 90 days, to figure out whether the average price is staying somewhat balanced, or if it's going down, if it's going up. All kinds of things to use this feature for, but mostly this is meant for seasonal items. So Halloween, Christmas, New Year's, those kind of items that get popular during certain times of year. Sometimes looking at historical can help you tell the future a little bit. All right, that is those. Let's go to costs. In your cost, this is something that may also be set up in your settings. You may have nothing to put here. Now, I use Prime Zero Prep, so my cost to prep a product is $1.65. And $1.65 for oversize. It's $1.65 per item to create a bundle. So we put $1.65 in there. And then my cost per pound to ship to Amazon. Now, I use 80 cents. I figure this figures out my tape, the cost of my box, and the cost of my shipping to Amazon. And that's what's going to be figured into my costs on this reverse product search. Next is my profit and ROI. I will typically leave my gross profit blank, but let's say that you don't want to see anything with less than a $5 gross profit. Maybe you only want to see items with a $3 gross profit. You can fill this in. Now, I like to keep, like I said, I like to keep my filters nice and loose. So I will typically only fill in the gross ROI, and you can fill this in with whatever percentage that you want. It's going to take in all the calculations automatically for you. It's going to figure everything out down to a percentage. I'll normally keep mine somewhere between 20 and 30%, but then sometimes I might just do 1% so I can see everything because perhaps I've forgotten a discount. Perhaps I have, perhaps I find a way to make the item profitable. Maybe there's a 2-pack. Maybe I can do something different. So keep your filters loose there. But we'll do 10% for now. Now, out of stock. Here are some things that I really like to do. I do not typically use this also, or I'm sorry, I typically use this also show Amazon out of stock results. And what that's going to do is it's going to show you items where you can flip them from Target, Walmart, Walgreens, etc. to Amazon where someone is in stock on the listing on Amazon. But this filter is also going to show me where Amazon as a whole, FBA, Merchant Fulfilled, everything is out of stock. Now, the reason I want to see this, and I'll give you a real world example, it wasn't but a month or two ago that I happened to find a baby monitor. This baby monitor was ranked in 120 or 150,000 in baby. However, it came back in my results because it was out of stock and had been out of stock for several weeks. I purchased it for $20. I increased the price from the previous price sold of $99.99 up to about $110, and I sold it within a week or two of it hitting the warehouse because I know that it has sold in the past, so I know that it will likely sell again. I was able to find that because I used this also show Amazon out of stock results. So I suggest always having that on. Now, this show only Amazon out of stock results. You should use this sparingly. But if you click this, it is going to take out all of the results except for what's out of stock on Amazon. Now, here's the issue. The issue is that sometimes there are multiple listings of the same item. Now, in a perfect world, there would not be. You're not supposed to create new product detail pages if a product detail page exists, but it happens and they can't police everything. So what I suggest is if you only want to find items that are out of stock, you can use this, but then I would go and just double check quickly to make sure that there's not a duplicate listing or perhaps a better listing out there that someone is already selling on. Always have these on. Now, if I'm happy with this filter, I might save this as TA course reverse search. I'm going to save this, and now when I come back to this in a little bit and I show you guys how to import bulk product codes, I'm going to easily be able to use this TA course reverse search, and I'll never have to fill in those numbers again. They'll always be there for me, and I'll just be able to quickly go through and hit my submit button and get going. So what I would suggest is create multiple saved filters for different situations, different sourcing situations, and then just make it nice and quick. It only takes a few minutes to make these things, and save a whole bunch of them, make them very descriptive, and then that way you know what they're for. So I'll be back in just a moment, and what we will do is we will upload or we will import a bulk product code list, and we'll get a search going just to show you what that looks like. Okay, now we're going to talk about importing a bulk product code list and showing you how to get an actual scan started. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you this list here. And what this is a list of somewhere around 23,000, maybe 24,638 ASINs. And you'll see that there's also a price of 1 penny over here. You can totally ignore that price. We've got ASINs. We do not have UPCs because this was pulled from Amazon itself. And then the prices are for a later feature in the wholesale, which we'll look at. So I'm going to show you how we upload that properly. What we do is we import bulk product codes, go to Upload New File, choose the file, select it, and click on the Upload button. Now what this is going to do is this is going to take it into the Smart Upload feature, and you can see that it looked for a product UPC. It didn't find any, so that's going to stay as not defined. And then it's going to look for the product ASIN. We can see that it pulled the ASIN correctly. Now we upload that, and once it's uploaded, we're ready to either fill in our filters, or I'm just going to use my TA course reverse search filter, and we click on Submit. Once we hit Submit, we're going to be able to see that it has a running progress over here. The Tactical Arbitrage servers are going through everything, and this will take just a moment. It will get rolling through everything, and we'll start seeing products. It'll tell you how many are there that it's going to look through, how many it's checked, how many have been added, and if we wait for a few minutes, we should see some products beginning to be added. Now, the speed will vary based on how you have your settings. I typically use a 5-day cache, which means that I'll get information that's up to 5 days old. And every now and again, if I really want to plow through these, I'll also turn on the rapid search feature, which means I won't get any results that are not in the cache. And to do that, you have to have at least some cache on, at least 1 day's worth of cache, all the way up to 5 days worth of cache. And so typically I will use 5 days worth of cache. And that is the reverse search feature. In another video, we're going to be going through the view data area. We'll look at the view reverse, view product search, and how to create folders and all of that. So I'm not going to show that right now, but this is how you get a reverse product search going and all of the different ways that you can use it. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you anytime. And go out there and start practicing with reverse product search. Good luck. I'll see you in the next video.